Hello and welcome back to Trista's Reading Room. I'm your host, Trista Shea. Today we are going to be looking at The Case of the Robbed Recipe by Amanda Trumpower. Alex has a passion for food, but his snacking future is jeopardized when his favorite baker suffers a terrible theft. Together, he and his best friend, Mittens, the bravest, smartest, and bossiest reporter at the Bow Wow Bark, must find justice for Grandma Bassett. This is book 1 of the Collar Case series, and it was released on June 1st, 2022. Alright, so this series is for ages 7 to 12. Currently, there are 4 books that are available. You can find the books on Amazon or on the author's website. They are in paperback, ebook, and in audio format. And fun fact, I am the narrator for Collar Cases for Amanda, as well as her other spin-off series, Powerpuff. When I read this aloud here, I might not use the same voices that I used for the audiobook for some of the side characters, because I don't exactly remember which voices I used. So you might hear different voices if you get the audio version. Just a little disclaimer there. So here's a little bit about Amanda, the author. She's a second-generation homeschooler, a twin mom, a Star Wars superhero and board game fanatic, and a D&D enthusiast. Her and her husband went to the Great Homeschool Convention event in Cincinnati, Ohio this past April. And if you follow her on Instagram, you can see some of her stuff there. It was pretty cool. I was excited for them. And I think they're planning to go back. You can find Amanda on her website if you want to know more about writing-related things. And Instagram if you want to see pictures from her twin life, homeschooling life. So the inspiration for this book, Amanda says, Alex's breed, so Alex is this white one. Alex's breed and color is inspired by my brother's childhood dog. Mittens is inspired by several female characters I like, but specifically Lois Lane from an animated Superman show I used to watch as a kid. I tuck lots of little Easter eggs into each mystery, from naming characters after favorite book or TV characters, modeling Bow Wow locations off real-life places, Radio Wigwam anyone? To even modeling a character after one of my real-life friends and family members, the Castle Kittens. Okay, let us start. The Case of the Robbed Recipe, written by Amanda Trumpower, Collar Cases Book 1. Chapter 1, Bow Wow Goes Bonkers. On a June afternoon, the town of Bow Wow gathered in Central Park to celebrate an important day. Among those gathered were the Bow Wow Bark's top investigative reporters, Mittens and Meow, and her partner, Alex D. Digger. Alex turned a page in his newspaper. He bought it on the way to the park because he wanted to read the comics. Now the inside story caught his attention. He elbowed Mittens. "Did you see this report? 3 houses targeted last night in graffiti prank. What a shame." He read the next line and frowned. "My goodness! Grandma Bassett was one of the victims. Did she say anything about it to you?" Mittens stood on tiptoe, trying to see the stage better. "That's nice, Alex." For the last 70 years, Grandma Bassett had made delicious treats for cats and dogs of all ages at her Tasty Treats factory. Today, she was about to unveil her 200th dog biscuit flavor. Every dog in town was dying to know the secret. "Looks like the other graffiti victims were Mayor Nutt and Dr. Honda." Alex continued reading. "Police found the word 'soon' sprayed across their garage doors. Now that's a funny thing to put on a garage door." "Uh-huh," Mitten said. Alex folded the paper up. "This sounds like a real mystery. What do you think?" In front of him, a fox turned around. She pressed a claw to her lips. "I'll read it later," Mitten said. "The ceremony is starting." Alex sighed. In Alex's opinion, Mittens was the toughest reporter at the Bow Wow Bark. She could turn a bulldog bodyguard into a cowering poodle with a single glare. And she was smart. When she investigated a story, she didn't stop digging until she found the truth, even if that meant facing a little danger. Privately, Alex wondered if Mittens enjoyed danger a little too much. As for himself, his life was simple. He lived by 3 rules. 1. Never say no to Mittens. 2. Never underestimate the power of a smile. 3. Never leave Mittens in charge of snacks. There was also rule number 3.5. Submit articles relatively on time. But he didn't worry about that too much. Their editor was used to receiving Alex's work late, usually with food stains. On stage, Mayor Nut tapped the microphone. Grandma Bassett was up there too, sitting on a folding chair off to the side.
"Quiet, please,"
Mayor Nut said.
"Grandma Bassett would like to begin."
It took Grandma Bassett 3 whole minutes to shuffle from the chair to the microphone. Mittens drummed her pen against her notepad. Patience was not her foremost quality.
"Walks kinda slow, doesn't she?"
Alex whispered.
"Maybe she needs to eat some of her chili pepper and bacon treats. Those always put extra fire in my step. But I tell you what, the gas afterwards is—"
The fox shushed him again. Alex made a face at her.
"Welcome, ladies and gentlemen."
Grandma Bassett's voice warbled like a bad cell signal.
"Thank you for supporting Tasty Treats all these years. It is an honor to introduce your taste buds to our bicentennial flavor."
"What does bicentennial mean?" Alex whispered. 200. Mittens answered, without looking up from her notepad.
"We have worked hard to bring you this new culinary experience,"
Grandma Bassett said.
"I hope you enjoy. Mayor Nut, the recipe book, please."
Mayor Nut brought the book to her. It looked heavy. It had yellow pages edged in gold and an elaborate lock on the cover. Grandma Bassett unlocked it with a key hanging around her neck. She peeled back the cover.
"I give you—"
she gasped. Alex gripped his pencil.
"What? What's wrong? Why did she stop?"
Mittens leaned in, ears pricked forward.
"It's gone!"
Grandma clutched her paws to her chest.
"Someone stole the recipe!"
Alex's ears jumped into triangles. He grabbed Mittens' arm.
"No! Say it isn't so!"
The crowd spoke at the same time. Who would do that? What are we going to do?
What was the 200th flavor? Anyone know where the bathroom is?
Mittens put her paws on her hips. Alex, the graffiti on the garage doors will have to wait. We just found our next story. Chapter 2. Suspects and Suspicions. Mittens couldn't think with everyone shouting. She was glad when the police arrived and directed the crowd to visit the park's Ferris wheel, picnic games, and food vendors. Now she and Alex stood on stage with Grandma Bassett and Mayor Nut.
"Who could have done this?"
Grandma Bassett cried into a handkerchief. "Don't worry, ma'am. We'll get to the bottom of it." Mittens flipped open her notebook. "Who had access to your recipe book?" Grandma Bassett blinked from behind her round glasses.
"No one. I guard it closely. I'm the only one with the key. When I'm not using it, I lock the book up in my office safe." "Who knows the combination?"
Alex asked.
"Just me."
Mittens tapped her pen against her pages. "Was anyone in your office recently?" Grandma Bassett stopped to think.
"I had 2 meetings this morning, but my employees wouldn't do a thing like this."
"They could have," Alex said. "If they got into your safe while it was open, they're the prime suspects. Unless the missing recipe was stolen by aliens." Mittens sighed. "It wasn't aliens, Alex."
"How do you know? Some aliens can walk through walls. It's a fact."
Mittens wanted to tell him there were no facts about aliens, because there were no aliens. But they'd been down this road before, so she just moved on. I need the names of the employees you met with. Grandma Bassett took off her glasses. They were streaky with tear stains. She wiped them on her sweater.
My first meeting was with Robert Rowland. My second was with Dottie Dipstick.
Mittens divided her page in half with a long line. She wrote the suspects' names on each side. What are their positions in your company?
Robert is the CFE, Chief Flavor Engineer. Dottie led the marketing department.
Grandma Bassett sniffed.
Until she quit this morning.
Mittens and Alex traded a look.
I was so surprised. I loved having her on my team.
Grandma Bassett put her glasses back on and blinked. Was she angry? Mittens said. Grandma Bassett's ears drooped.
Yes, I'm afraid she was.
Alex flipped his notebook shut with a snap. He put his paws on his hips. I think we should chat with Miss Dipstick. I think we should chat with both of them. Mittens slid her notebook into its designated space in her purse. Grandma, I don't want to be insensitive, but couldn't you just write the recipe down again? Grandma Bassett blushed.
I'm not as young as I used to be. I don't remember the exact measurements, but even if I did design the flavor again, it wouldn't matter. Whoever stole the recipe knows the secret. If we don't get it back, and soon, I'll have to start over.
I thought Mr. Rowland designs the flavors, Mitten said. Maybe he remembers. Grandma Bassett shook her head.
He designs lots of flavors, but I do the special ones. And I always keep final recipes a secret, even from my staff.
Alex sighed. I don't get it. Sure, Mr. Rowland and Miss Dipstick were in the office, but how could either of them take the recipe if the book was locked up in the safe? Mitten smiled at him. That was a good question. For all his talk of aliens and cheeseburgers, Alex was a great reporter. Did you leave the office during the meeting? Mitten said. Grandma Bassett pressed a hand to her chest and gasped.
I did. I needed something from the records room.
Was the safe open? Grandma Bassett howled.
Bless my cookie sheets, it was. I was checking a few details before today's celebration and I forgot to shut the door before I left. Why have I been so forgetful lately? Yesterday I nearly left the house in my slippers. Maybe I should close the company until I get my head back together.
Alex's eyes were huge. If it were possible, it looked like his cream fur turned even whiter.
There, Grandma.
Mayor Nut patted her on the shoulder.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, don't worry. Alex slung an arm around Mittens. We'll find your recipe. We'll find it today, even. Please don't close down the factory. Give us a chance. Mittens crossed her arms. What's with you? You never get this excited about a new case. Alex pulled an empty box of tasty treats from his backpack. She has to keep baking. I'm all out of snacks. Chapter 3. Gathering Clues. Did you find anything yet? Alex was in Grandma Bassett's office, searching for clues with Mittens. At least he was trying to search for clues. It was hard to concentrate with his stomach growling this loud. He wanted to stop for a hamburger on the way, but Mittens said they didn't have time. Funny thing about Mittens. She never seemed to give food the priority it deserved. Now that Grandma Bassett had threatened to shut down Tasty Treats, all he could think about was his empty treat box and his even emptier stomach. No clues yet. Mittens called from Grandma Bassett's desk. She opened the next drawer and leafed through the papers. Check the perimeter. Maybe the thief left evidence on the floor. Alex crawled across the carpet, studying each baseboard. After a few minutes, he spotted a small piece of red cloth in the corner. I found something! Mittens left the desk and joined him. This looks like a piece of shirt. Great job, Alex. Did you find anything else? He looked at the carpet again. He pointed to a small French fry covered in chocolate icing. There's that. Mittens wrinkled her nose. Gross! Why would Grandma Bassett eat that? Maybe it's not hers. Alex pressed the fry close to his nose. He sniffed. I have the strangest feeling I've seen this before. Mittens returned to the desk. You've seen lots of French fries, Alex. No, I mean this specific kind of fry. Mittens wasn't listening, so he pocketed the fry and examined the safe. It was locked. He slumped to the floor. I don't want Grandma to close down the factory. What will I eat? Have you considered vegetables? Alex made a face. Gosh, Mittens, I'm not desperate. They found no other clues. They turned off the office lights and left. You'll be fine, Mittens said as they walked down the hall. You watch so many baking shows. You should make your own treats. You're a great cook. Alex beamed. Aw, thank you. And here I thought you hated my cooking. Mittens held up a paw. I don't like your spaghetti-flavored popcorn. Trust me, that's not unreasonable. Speaking of food, I'm still hungry. Can we grab a burger now? He pressed the button to call for the elevator. Wowza Burger's on the way to Dottie Dipstick's house. He smiled as his imagination filled with images of cheesy, melted goodness spreading across a steaming hamburger. I want to order a triple-decker bacon burger with fries and a chocolate milkshake. The elevator arrived with a quiet ding. They stepped inside. All right, Mittens said. I suppose I'm hungry too. She pushed the button for the ground floor. I'll get a salad. You're so weird. The doors slid shut. As the mechanism slowly lowered them down, Alex breathed deeply. The elevator smelled like beef and cheese. The sauce department was only one floor above them. Heaven, he declared. Simply heaven. Say, did you know aliens prefer salad over burgers? Maybe you're an alien and you don't even know it. That would be cool. I'd probably ask you for your autograph. And that's it for the case of the robbed recipe today. Let me know if you want to hear more of this on Trista's Reading Room, and have a great day.